The Bantraphyll system is not at war. Bantraphyll was never, until recently, a wealthy colony. The planet had resources enough just to maintain its own small society, but none worth exporting. There was never any need for the corporate sponsors of its initial colonization to interfere with its administration. In the halls of Solar Union commerce, land shares on Bantraphyll traded for nothing, no cost, no gain. You might throw all of my land shares on Bantraphyll into your golf wager as a joke, or give them as a prank gift to a friend. Recently, though, there was a minor development in an obscure biochemical processing technology, and the novel features of Bantrall's ecosystem went from being a scientific curiosity to being an untapped and unknowably deep wellspring of wealth. Land shares on Bantrall are no longer an ignored asterisk on anyone's balance sheet. The handover of administration and power from the descendants of Bantrall's original Terran colonists to the newly interested legal right holders, the self proclaimed landowners, has been cheerful, orderly, and mutually profitable. There have been a few isolated spats, of course, but there's been practically no protracted, bitter, bloody war of resistance between the displaced old Bantrash aristocracy and the off world landowners. When a landowner uses the threat of violence to force a hereditarily great family to give up their land, keeping them on as guides and entertainers, it's cheerful. And when they offer them in exchange a negligible sum, it's mutually profitable. And when fiery companies of Bantrash irregulars respond by raiding their holdings and seizing arms and materials against future battles, and local insurrectionists take advantage of the upset by forcing occupied biochemical processing facilities, and the landowners respond with ruthless crackdowns and martial law, these are a few isolated spats. To admit otherwise would be to invite the intervention of the Terran Transit Authority's mediation and peacekeeping forces, and then no one would get rich from Bantrall but the TTA.
He's not dressed. I'm muted. Okay. Okay. A stud over. Okay. We open on the outside of a club. We kind of have this over the shoulder cam of Ray walking in, and he is not dressed for clubbing. He looks way too serious. Um, we follow him as he very deliberately weaves his way through the crowds all the way to the back. We watch him go through an emergency exit and go down a couple flights of stairs until he's in the basement. And we follow him as he's weaving through corridors. He's not even really like, he seems very certain of where he's going. And he turns around a corner, goes through an open door, it shuts behind him. And in front of him, we see this folding table with a whole bunch of people around it. They're all dressed in like different outfits. Like they don't look like business people or like rock stars or anything. They're just like these random people around a table, but we recognize Orion at the head of the table. Orion looks up. He says, "Glad you can make it, Ray. Take a seat." And Ray nods and he goes and he sits down to the right of Orion. All right, shall we get started? Orion reaches forward onto the table. There's a data slate on there. He hits a button and a projection comes up of the hollow projector. And it looks kind of like either like a warehouse or maybe a manufacturing facility or a processing plant, something like that. And he hits another button. We kind of see it zoom in. We see like the layout and stuff kind of unfold. It kind of like the layers kind of break and peel away and we can see like the inside of this facility. And Orion says, "So this is one of Peak Zenith's electronics manufacturers. They've recently switched over to using Bantraphyll crystals in all their products. And lab results came back. It's like what they reported to us." He swipes again, and this falls away. And instead, the report comes up. And Orion enlarges one of the numbers, and we don't really get context for what it means, so I'm not gonna say the number, but he pulls it up and it's like a different color from like the rest of the stuff on the report. And he says, so the spies are accurate, and the intel we got from, well, Amphi is also accurate, seems like. They're fucking doing it again. Cutting fucking corners. They're putting this in all the comm links. This is going to be in the data pads. It's going to be all over Bantraphyll. What, save a couple of fucking dollars? We can't keep waiting. We can't keep waiting anymore. He turns and he looks at Ray very deliberately. And we get this vibe that Orion has been the one pushing for fight, and Ray's been the one holding him back. And he says, Ray, what do you want me to do? What do you want us to do? And Ray looks very clearly conflicted, but also pretty pissed off because it's happening again. He takes a deep breath. He reaches over to the data slate and hits a couple of buttons. And he says, I think we all know what we need to do. Project Firestorm. This feed cuts and we see kind of a montage of like what looks like back alley deals and packages trading hands. We don't see what's written on the packages or the crates or anything, but we see these orange diamond warning labels on them. And that is my scene.
Brilliant. All right, so we see a like stark white hallway and a stark white long hall, just corridors after corridors of long white. It's almost creepy with just how starkly white it is, and we kind of follow it around in an almost maze until finally we stop at a single door, but it looks like a regular apartment door. And Silver is standing in front of it, and she hits the comm button like you would have like a like an intercom, like a doorbell. But it's like a reverse. Instead of you press the button and then the camera will show who's outside the door, the person outside the door presses the button and gets a camera feed of the inside of this apartment. And it really is like an apartment. And we see Bryn like chilling at this particular moment. I mean, maybe that's not what they're always doing, but she's, still sitting on a couch, and Silver, like, looks in and sighs, and then lets go of the button and walks away instead of going inside. And she walks along this hallway, and again, it's very long and somewhat twisty, and she winds up at a desk, and there's someone wearing a Peak Zenith. It's a cross between like a paramilitary uniform and just like a business suit. And so she pulls out a data slab that she'd been holding onto this whole time and sets it onto the counter where this guard is sitting, and she says, here's the list of everything that we found on her. I'm afraid that it seems that she's been getting help from the locals. I'm not sure who she's working for, but some of this technology is top notch and Bantraphyll exclusive. Until, well, you can see the stats on her arm. Just keep her safe until she can see trial, alright? And the guard just kind of grunts and like takes the data slab and like opens a drawer and like slots it in and then closes it again, and doesn't really say anything. And Silver just looks a little bit sad at the doorway back to the weird long twisty hallway, and then walks away.
So imagine what I'm about to describe, like interspersed with scenes of Bryn in the prison in the cell. She just sits in the prison cell, kind of like curled up in the corner of that couch under a blanket. I guess without her arm, probably without like any of her normal clothing too. It's probably like casual wear. But we see like a black and white view of Bryn back in that cavern underneath the orphanage. And what the camera focuses on isn't Bryn, but on the dust covering everything. The dust getting shaken up by her footprints or when she's wiping off the filter. Focuses on the walls and the fossilized remnants of the Bantraphyll plants that they're mining. Then we hear the crashing of rocks, the roaring of a fire, the howling of a storm. We see the dust storm that's kicked off by the landslide, filling the little dome, keeping the water away from the orphanage, and the air spitting like a maelstrom, covering everything. This Bantraphyll laden dust. We see Bryn leaning on Silver, just barely keeping up because she doesn't want to slow Silver down. We see them both breathing in this dust, the dust going into their lungs, into their brain. We get back to Bryn on the couch, and she slowly has slumped down, and now she's just holding her head and screaming. That's the scene.
We're at a diner we've seen before, but instead of the parking lot for the water taxis being lit by the light of the diner has no light this time except for emergency low light, like generator light. So we just see dark figures gathering outside this diner. A guy says, "Huh, why this place?" And a woman says, "This reminds me, as soon as they get there, I have something to talk about with them." And there are maybe about 4 people here gathered talking amongst each other. One of them's like cursing up and down, up out of boredom, and like darting around the perimeter, checking to see if they're being watched. And as he comes back, there's more cursing, and he says, "When are they gonna get here? There's no power at the clinic." And then we hear a familiar voice, Sash's voice, coming out of the darkness um, through the masks speakers, and they say, "The clinic is being discontinued, but you are not. You are still going to work for me because I need you and your talents. And don't worry, you're getting a raise because I'm going to be making money off of this clinic." And there's a silence and a, "Why are you tearing down a perfectly good clinic?" "Because your skills are needed elsewhere, and I need the name on that clinic to not exist anymore. If you stay at the clinic, you're not going to be mobile enough for what I need you for. Now, we're here, of course, because of all this." And Sash points around to all of the darkness and says, who speaks next? I wonder. This is the last time we'll be using this rendezvous point. What I need you to do now is just follow me. We're not going to be going too far away. In fact, we won't even be leaving this airspace. Come. There are people that need to be taken care of. That's my scene.
Huh. I'm intrigued. Okay, so I think that makes it my game. And I would like to ask Silver, how do we come to be stealing time together?
Ooh, okay. How did we come to
Um,
be stealing time together?
I could also phrase this as, Silver, why did you come to me about Bryn instead of Sash?
Ooh, because I think it's your fault. And I'm not even wrong.
No, you're not.
Okay. So I think I send you a text, like requesting a rendezvous, but the way the text is phrased, it appears to be a more romantic request than it might actually be. We'll see what happens.
Okay. Where are we meeting then?
Oh, part of me wants to say a club again, but also part of me is like, that's a
We
little
need a place where
too
we can
public.
be. We need to steal time though.
Yeah.
And
Well, I mean,
talk
like, there's a
briefly.
back rooms. Do you remember when we went to the hotel for confidence lessons?
Yes.
That hotel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay. Um. So, yeah, are you already there again, or do we meet in the
I don't
lobby
know.
this
It depends.
time?
Like, were you there, and then how did this get set up?
Hmm. Confidence motel. Okay. Yeah, okay, maybe I've already got the room arranged and everything, and I'm just like,
You have to work up the confidence to confront me.
yeah, and I was like, you may remember this place. Meet me meet me tonight.
Okay. I think you get like a question mark back, but then an okay.
I don't respond to the question mark, and I don't respond to the okay.
That is fine.
Yeah, so I guess I'm in, and like I feel like it's the same room just because.
Yeah, it's gotta be.
Right, exactly. And so Silver's there to open the door when Ray arrives.
Okay. What do we notice about each other? What have we heard?
I've said this a lot when we've started games, but Silver looks tired.
True.
I think this is like the day after the orphanage burned. Like, and she hasn't slept since then.
Okay.
Like, there was whatever she did that day, then going out at night to this weird place, then a sword fight, then arresting Bryn, then paperwork, more paperwork,
Mm-hmm.
That kind of stuff.
Then stress, not
and
and
then stress.
and like maybe like 3 hours where she was maybe allowed to sleep but didn't.
Right, yeah, like where she was like maybe she got to the hotel like 3 hours ago and she's been laying on the bed staring at the ceiling, not sleeping this entire time, waiting for Ray to show up.
Jeez.
She's wearing one of her Peak Zenith work suits.
Mm-hmm.
And you wouldn't know this, but it's the same one she was wearing yesterday.
Yeah.
In fact, there might be like a smidge of blood like on her shoe or splatter from the fight on there that she didn't notice or didn't clean up.
Okay.
But it'd be a very small amount, but Ray might pick up on that.
Okay.
But she does brighten when she sees Ray.
Okay. Because it's been such a short amount of time, I don't think you've heard anything about Rebel plans. Did you want to say something else?
Oh, I was gonna say actually, I'm gonna leave it up to you whether or not you've heard that the orphanage burned.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, cool.
I meant to bring it up in my solitaire. I forgot because I was just like focus mode.
Okay.
But yeah.
That was why Orion was pushing for stuff.
Yeah, that's
Or at
part
least
of it.
one
Well,
of the reasons.
not the only reason, but
Mhm.
it's like, okay, they fucking burned this down to cover it up, and now they're doing this fucking shit again. We're just gonna no. Okay, so what you I don't think you've heard anything about rebel activity because you've been probably too focused on this Bryn situation
Mhm.
and then just exhausted.
Mhm.
So I don't think you've had the opportunity to hear anything.
Mhm.
As far as what you know, is Ray looks fucking tired too.
Mhm.
He probably covers it a bit better because of all of his makeup and
Mhm.
stuff, but like you've seen him, he looks pretty tired and kind of stressed.
Mhm.
And then I don't know, I don't think there's much to say, honestly. He's there, he showed up, he responded pretty quickly to your text.
Awesome. Yeah. So she kind of half smiles and looks up at him and then
Oh,
like
wait,
gestures.
I have a question for you.
Hmm.
Before we start, have we been physical at all with each other yet? Do you think? Because that's going to change how this encounter starts.
I don't think so. Like,
Yeah, that's
other
what I'm
than
feeling too.
on the dance floor getting handsy.
But yeah, I don't think that we've
Mm-mm.
pursued anything off the dance floor.
No, there's been some eyes. There's been some stuff.
Confidence lessons.
I mean, that was before, and I mean, and then I invited you to a hotel room. So what do you think that means?
I don't know. I don't know what that means. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now we can continue.
So, yeah, so she smiles up at Ray, and it looks like she was going to like go for a hug or something like that, but instead just kind of steps to the side to let him in, and like looks both ways down the hallway and shuts the door, kind of thing.
Okay, I think I kind of give you a side eye as I'm walking in, like, okay, what?
Um, and then she turns around and like leans back against the door, you know, puts her
Mhm.
back against it and like leans with her feet out, and she sighs and she's like, "Thank you for coming so quickly, Ray."
You look fucking exhausted. Do an Irish. Hold on. I gotta get my Ray voice.
That was me last week.
I know. You look fucking exhausted. Are you alright?
I don't think so, Ray. Bryn was wested last night.
For what?
Murder.
I kind of sit down on the bed in shock.
All right, yeah, like I'm gonna stand up, uh, from where I was, like push myself away from the door, and walk over, um, and then sit down next to you on the bed. I take your hand, may I?
You may.
And I'm like holding on to it, maybe a little bit too tight. Uh, when I say, I found her standing over the director's corpse. Why did she do it, Ray? I'm still like clutching your hand.
What do you mean? What happened? Where? When? Last night?
The orphanage that burned. The orphanage that burned.
I snatch my hand away.
She. You did know. What aren't you telling me, Ray?
Fucking idiot. Fucking idiot kid. She was supposed to quit. She was supposed to get you to quit. She wasn't supposed to.
What?
I never should have told her. I never should have gotten her involved. I didn't think she would do this. I thought she would just fucking leave the company.
You're making as much sense as she was, which is none. Please, Ray, what is going on?
I look at your business suit. Are you wearing your ring, by the way?
No.
Okay.
I'm
I
wearing
take-
the suit, but not the ring.
Okay. I think you see me, like, deliberately, like, look down at your hands.
I like nod and like kind of side eye the one of the drawers that's across the room.
Okay. I think I hesitate for a long moment. Like, you can see, like, I'm very conflicted. Like, part of me wants to explain, but the other part of me is just like, you're the enemy. Like, unfortunately, circumstantially, you're the enemy. And so there's that distrust there too.
I didn't want to do it, Ray.
Um, I grab your shoulder, may I?
Yes.
Maybe a little too tightly, kind of like how you grabbed my hand a little too tightly. And I say, I promised I would warn you when the firestorm was coming. Well, I didn't know that that was going to happen, but it is set in motion, a chain of events I can't stop anymore.
She was so adamant that, and I like kind of look away and down and not quite try to shrug your hand off my shoulder, but kind of a little bit feel uncomfortable with it still there.
Okay.
And she's like, she said I sold my soul.
I think she was misinformed. I don't think you're involved. At least.
All right. At that point, I'm gonna turn around and I'm gonna shove you right in the chest. May I?
You may.
Yeah. I shove you right in the chest, and I'm like, God damn it, Ray! What the hell am I not involved in? I don't have a goddamn clue. And everything is falling apart around me.
Well, you should blame your fucking company for that one.
You're always going off about the evils of Peak Zenith without a single fucking example other than how much you hate them. And now you've convinced Bryn of your cause? What is going on? Ray, please tell me.
Well, I've been keeping it to myself because I don't want people getting hurt. But people are getting hurt, so what does it fucking matter? Your company's killing people, Silver.
What do you mean?
You heard of Pinnacle?
In passing, they were here on the planet before my time. I did some cursory research on all the other landowners that have a claim here, but
they aren't other landowners, Silver. They're Peak Zenith. Before they were Peak Zenith.
That is not in the company file.
It wouldn't be. They buried that quite deeply. I glance to the drawer where your ring is, like, kind of nervously. Is it gonna pick up anything?
I have it in a box. No
I lean
signals
very
in or
close to your ear, may I?
You may.
I lean very close and I say, still, precautions. It doesn't matter how many times I say it, doesn't get any easier. When Pinnacle was here, they cut corners. They cut corners and miners started getting sick. And then they started dying. And then their children started dying.
Sick from what?
From the Bantraphyll.
And I obviously still have the necklace on. Because that's how this game works. So immediately I clutch it.
When they mine it, it gets into the water. And the mining suits, they electrolyze the water to get oxygen. And you're supposed to use special filters for that. They didn't. So the Bantraphyll got into the air.
And like her eyes go wide as she remembers what she breathed in as the mountain collapsed around her. How do you know all of this, Ray?
Because my parents were miners.
She's just staring at him, waiting for the other shoe to drop.
I look away from you. I look down at my hands. Because I'm dying, Silver. It's no cure. Only a lot of anger and a lot of pain.
She's completely silent.
I don't think I say anything either.
I think probably we sit there in silence for a moment.
Long moment.
Yeah, before Silver takes like a shuddering breath and is like, "How long do you have?"
Hard to say. I'm fortunate because I can afford treatment. No cure, though.
With all of the technology that we have, how can there be no cure?
As I understand it, it alters the DNA. Bryn seemed to get sick. She got better. You should get yourself checked out if you've come into contact with anything. If you were in that orphanage, you may have.
She nods slowly, and then she takes off her necklace and like lets it fall to the ground. But and they knew.
Of course they knew. They didn't care.
She's quiet for another long moment. And then she grabs your hands. May she?
You may.
Yeah. She grabs Ray's hands again and she like pulls them up between them and looks into his face. It's like, I care, Ray.
I appreciate that, but you can't do anything. And I don't mean that you're not capable of it. I mean, you can't. They'll kill you.
I can do something. You said...
I just want you to get out.
Get out where?
Leave the city, leave the planet. You need to get out. It's not going to be safe any longer.
You act like it's been safe up until now.
Relatively. You know what I am. I'm not saying this lightly.
That's why
there are things in motion.
I know who you are, and that is why I came to you about Bryn. I didn't want to have
Where is she now?
That's what I want you to know. And I've got and I pull out like my business suit pocket. I reach into my inner breast pocket. May I?
Yeah?
Yeah, okay. I pull out an actual piece of paper, like physical paper, and it has some stuff written on it. And she like taps it onto Ray's chest to hand it to him.
Mm-hmm.
May I?
Yeah, I take it.
And she's like, can't be too careful. And she also glances at the drawer again.
I look at the paper.
This is where they're holding her. And this, She like taps on a thing.
Mhm.
We'll get you into the facility. It's like a number or whatever. I'm telling you this, I didn't want to arrest her, but I couldn't not. Not with the director dead at her feet. And 2 of my men were witnesses.
I understand, and it's not like you knew what was going on. Even
could I have
so,
known?
I mean, I can't believe she's done this. She's stupid kid. I'll get her out.
I touch your cheek, may I?
You may.
So she lightly caresses his cheek. Thank you, Ray. I knew I could count on you.
I kiss you, may I?
You may.
It's kind of brief. It's not that same sort of aggressive kiss that we saw with Ray and Sash before.
Mm-hmm.
And then I pull back and I say, thank you for trusting me.
Thank you for trusting me. You may be dying, but
I have one more thing I need to tell you.
she stops and looks up.
Something is going to happen soon. I can't tell you what, but that is going to start a ticking clock. From then, you'll have 24 hours. 36? I thought it was 36. So 36 hours to evacuate the city.
And if I don't?
I don't respond.
She nods. I'll keep that in mind. I'm assuming this thing is going to be, obvious.
Quite. Oh, also, don't go to Sasha's place. No, sorry. Don't go to Bryn's place.
I wasn't planning on it.
We'll see that you don't.
Okay. Whatever you're doing, Ray, please be careful.
I'm not sure how much it matters.
It matters to me, and it matters to Sash.
It's bigger than this, though. It's bigger than us. All of us. And I'm on borrowed time anyway, so if anyone should do it, should be me.
I'd like you to get the most out of that time.
I just kind of sad smile and a nod, like, appreciate that, but we'll see.
Yeah, so she then is gonna reach up and kiss you. May I?
You may.
Yeah. So this is a little bit longer than the last kiss, and it's a it's like a see all of the things you'll be missing out on if you go and die kiss.
I see. I think there's a moment where, like, we break the kiss, and we're just kind of looking at each other, and then I stand up.
You don't need to leave.
I don't know if I stay or not.
I reach out and I grab your hand. May I?
I don't know. I guess you may, because I'm like clearly conflicted.
Yeah, so like you're standing there and I just grab your hand and I just caress it ever so slightly.
I have so much I need to do.
And so little time to do it in. And she tugs just a little bit on the hand.
Oh gosh, I don't know. Like, there's part of Ray that is like, I mean, I could. That would be cool. But then there's the other part is like, oh my god, so much to do. Oh, I'm so conflicted.
Mm-hmm.
You know what, fuck it. Can we draw a curtain on what follows?
Yeah, we sure can. Uh-huh. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Good. Yes. Okay. Brilliant.
Hey, at least we finally get some sleep, huh? Afterwards.
Exactly. Just exactly what we needed. All right. That was great. Oh shoot. Now it's my game.
Have fun. Bye.
Wait, she names you as her partner. You can't leave it.
No, I don't. I
It's
don't
not
know.
gonna be me. Don't worry.
Oh gosh, I don't know what I want to do. It's all good and it's all terrible.
What's the point?
It is the point. I think I want to steal time with Sash.
You've fallen for my hypnotic glare.
How do we come to be spending time together?
I need to know what's going on with everything.
Yeah, but how do we come to be spending time together? We go meet at Bryn's house? Why would we do that?
Do you want to steal time in Bryn's house?
I told you not to go there.
That was why I was a joking suggestion. That was not
Okay,
a serious suggestion. No,
We're gonna blow it up. Don't do it. It's fine. Bryn's not gonna be there.
Where are we, Sash? Where are we? Are we like in your nightclub after it's closed? Are we back at your mansion?
I feel like we're in the deep house after it's closed.
Okay, cool.
Which is closed most of the time because it's only open for concerts. And
Right.
concerts are like a weekly thing, so
Okay.
there's a lot of
Yeah, but you've got access. It's yours. So
Mhm.
okay, cool. What do we notice about each other? What have you heard? Also, how long after the mansion, or not the mansion, orphanage burned down is this?
I feel like your stealing time with Ray happens a day after that, and I feel like this is one day after that.
Okay. Yeah. So 2 days later, day after Ray.
Mhm.
Got it. Cool.
You notice that I am in vanity heaven with regards to this place. You know that because I've been, before the orphanage burned, I was talking about it with you all the time, sending you pictures.
Mm-hmm.
I think you got spoiled actually on the stunt where the roof came in.
Mm.
You knew that that was going to happen before it did, and I told you to keep it secret, and you did because you're great.
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay. Let's see. Silver is probably wearing one of her sundresses because I feel like this is during the day. And I think you notice that she still probably looks a little bit overworked. She's gotten some sleep in the last 24 hours, but doesn't make up for like the 2 days before that she didn't.
Mm-hmm.
But she's happy to see Sash, and she like will look like up at that ceiling thing
Yeah.
and just kind of shake her head because like I picture like you demonstrated it for her like a gajillion times. Like I half expect you to go through the sequence right now, just because you can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think so. To like actually go into the game, I think the first thing we do is you hear my voice from across the cathedral, just like in the distance.
Mm-hmm.
I had new tables installed, and then you see like I can I can change the shape of the roof by like messing around with the tables and just like moving my hands across them because it seems like they've got like a touch screen thing going on.
Cool. Yeah, and I think she kind of laughs and says something equivalent to cool, but like more spacey. Um, that's actually a really interesting change. And I'm walking across the cathedral towards you.
Mm-hmm. I think there's like I imagine these tables are like scooted right up to like a wall that's like a cushion bench sort of thing, but it goes
Mm-hmm.
on for like 100 feet or
Mm-hmm.
something.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I finally sit down and cross my legs, and I like tap the area next to me for you
Mm-hmm.
to sit down. Do
Yeah.
you?
Yeah, I do. And I think I lean in and kiss your cheek. May I?
You may.
It's good
It's
to
good
see
to
you,
see you again.
Sash.
Jinx, you owe me a round of checkers. And then I draw a square on the table, and then it flips over into a game of virtual checkers.
Nice. I kind of half laugh and I'm like, all right, but I go first, and I like will make a move.
Mm-hmm. I feel like this is like space checkers, and I make a very predictable dastardly move. May I?
I can't stop you. You don't need my consent for that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, not in this game of space checkers, anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I think I kind of cluck my tongue, and I'm like, same old trick, Sash. And then I like I make the classic counter to that move.
Hmm.
In space. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Which means I bait you into the same response, and then I stop following the strategy because I know you're just gonna do the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then, like, after I make that move, I want to give you a hug. May I?
You may.
And then I pull back, and then I say, "There's been a lot going on. Are you on the same comms network as pretty much all of Skyphos is, or do you have some kind of other thing?"
I think I'd have like a local phone, yeah.
Well, I haven't been able to get a call or a text out to my brother, and he disappeared, and I don't know where he would have gone to
Amphi's missing?
if he's missing.
I'd hoped for a nice, relaxing. And like I just kind of like lean my head on on your shoulder for just a second. May I?
You may.
Just spend some time with you, Sash, but you should know Bryn has been arrested.
And Sash starts connecting some dots and goes, I got to see a look. I got to go to Bryn's new place, and she was acting. Bryn's changed a little bit since I've known her. And when I went over there, it seemed like she was doing really well for herself, but towards the end, and Sash can't say why, because it's like they don't want to talk about it.
Mm.
Sash says, towards the end of my time over there, Bryn started acting a little weird.
How so?
She did things that I didn't think she would do. I had a romantic evening with her, and I opened up to her in certain ways that I thought I could only connect to her about. And I think sharing my dark side with her brought out her own dark side in some ways. And I'm not sure I should have done it.
I don't blame you for what happened. If anything, I blame Peak Zenith. He told me what they did to his family. To him. And I'm surprised that he can even look at me. But thankful that he can see past my affiliation to me. You know what I mean?
If you're talking about Ray, then I do.
We had our own romantic evening.
Oh, good.
I agree. Did you know what Pinnacle has done? What Peak Zenith is apparently doing?
It sounds like no.
No, I can see by the look on your face you're as innocent as I am in all of this.
I have a lot of family hatred of Peak Zenith. They're our competitor, but you seem to be talking about something different.
Do you, no. It's just... Apparently... Well, not apparently. I've double-checked the numbers. We've been cutting corners and dodging the safety protocols, using substandard equipment, all to save a few dollars. It slipped under my nose before because they were just numbers. Now and she like puts her head in her hands and she's like, now I know that they're costing people's lives.
And do you feel responsible for this?
When I didn't know, there was nothing I could do. But now I do know. And I may not be at the top of the food chain in Peak Zenith, but that doesn't mean I can do nothing.
You're not alone.
I take your hand, may I?
You may.
And like I thread my fingers through yours. Thank you, Sash. I've really found a home here on Bantraphyll, and well, there are things that I can do from within the company that can correct these oversights. No one else needs to die. No one else needs to die.
I ball you up, like, into my chest, may I?
Yeah, you may.
Mm-hmm.
I like, I adjust my position so that like I'm seated across your lap. May
Yeah.
I? Mm-hmm.
That's the only way this is really gonna work.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And it helps that I'm so much smaller than Sash is.
Mm-hmm.
And I just kind of like lay there with my head against your shoulder and chest while you hold me, and I'm like, want to help. But Ray told me that it's not going to be safe for me in the city. And I don't want to leave. I don't want to leave you or him or, god damn it, even Bryn.
If you leave, we're all leaving with you.
And where are we going to go? Some other planet that Peak Zenith is ruining the environment of? How's that gonna help?
We can go. And then the Sash wakes up for a second and realizes they really can't. They can probably go to another place on Bantraphyll with different landowner sovereignty.
Mm-hmm.
That's not owned by Peak Zenith, but different landowners.
Not that much of a change.
Yep.
Yeah, Silver just kind of shakes her head and was like, no. I appreciate the sentiment, but I can't just leave you all now. I was brought here to clean up the mess that was left at Peak Zenith after dozens of executives were fired to embezzlement. And now I see that there is so much more going on here, and I can fix it. I can fix it, you know? I have connections, both here and off planet. There's no reason they need to get away with this.
I think Sash nods at that and says, I think I know one man who I can threaten that you might want to have a conversation with.
Who's that?
I know you're the investigative type. Has a name Alex Morty Quincy rung any bells? And you might have known him from, he's one of the executives in the embezzlement deal.
Yeah, I'll nod and be like, yes, I'm aware of him.
I'm curious if he has things he's not telling us or knows things that we can put together.
What do you mean?
Well, if I'm putting things together the right way, he would have been an executive during the days of Pinnacle.
Right. Of course, I missed that before. You're right.
He didn't get arrested for the embezzlement like the others did. I think he's still hiding on planet, and I can figure out where he is if you want me to.
This actually sounds like a plan.
And then I think Sash really slowly smiles, and it is just like, has Ray been being vague with you?
Well, sorry, repeat that because I didn't understand the words.
Has Ray been being vague with you?
I kind of half laugh. He was, but I think he's really opened up to me. I just hope he... Although there's some part of me that worries that he told me that he was dying to bend me to his cause. He wouldn't manipulate me like that, would he? I look up at Sash, assuming that you already know that he's dying.
And there's that look to the side that's like trying to put information together, and it's like, no, Ray wouldn't manipulate you like that. I didn't know that he was dying. He never told me.
What?
No. It makes me wonder why, when we've been so close, he never told me about that.
Maybe he wasn't. Maybe he was trying not to hurt you. You know?
Yeah.
I think he expects that his rebel ways are going to get him killed before this... I can't even call it a disease. What is it? Poison? DNA corruption? He didn't get very specific about what was killing him, but...
Then I think, Sash, since you're so close to me, you can
I'm like
feel,
literally still on your lap.
yeah, you can feel that I'm starting to get really mad because I'm starting to like tremor. Do you get off of my lap and give me space?
No. I think that Silver's first instinct would be to, like, slide her arms around you and hug you. May I?
This time you may not, because I think I'm going to stand up, just like pick you up, and then like
Mm-hmm.
put you back down on the
Uh-huh.
like cushions,
Right.
and I'm going to like long leg walk, which is almost like a run or a jog, over to the other side of the table, and then I'm going to do like a figure 8 jog, and then slam my fist through the table. Fuck! Why doesn't he trust me? Why doesn't he trust me with things like that? Oh!
Sash. I'm, like, standing up, and I've, like, walked over towards you, and I've got one hand outstretched. I assumed you already knew. Listen, he warned me. It comes from unprocessed Bantraphyll, and I was gonna ask you to have Amphi examine me, but if he's missing, are there any other of your doctors that you trust?
Yeah, I trust all of them with my life, actually. So,
Do you trust them with my life?
yeah, I do.
I was at the orphanage when it burned, and when the entire mountain came down on it, and whatever I breathed in was not good. And after what Ray told me, I just want to be sure.
They say doctors don't make house calls these days, but that's not true with my doctors. And how long were you expecting this date to be?
I kind of look around how long does it need to be?
Probably about 4 more hours.
Well, I don't have anything else to do. Not anything that is gonna help anybody. So I might as well not do it.
I think Sash is starting to get the after effects of being really mad, which is being really sad. And I think we end the stealing time together with me taking you to get a checkup.
Okay.
And an assessment, all this to find like treatment methods so that you don't get super duper poisoned.
That'd be cool. I'd prefer not to get super duper poisoned.
Yep.
Awesome.
Ugh.
So much drama.
It's pretty cool.
All the best drama. Thinking of drama.
Yeah, so I was going to fight someone, but I don't think anyone would actually fight me at this point. Silver's not going to interrogate Bryn because she already has all the answers. Also, she's too busy kissing everybody.
Yeah,
so
that's also true.
I'll just do another solitaire, and then next time maybe I won't do a solitaire. That's okay with everybody?
Solitaire is a valid choice.
Yep.
Always a valid choice, yeah.
So there's a four-sided die rolling across the floor of Bryn's room. And we see the door open. The guard walks in, carrying a simple wooden chair, puts it down on the floor and leaves. And a man in a black robe, covering his head, walks in, sits in the chair. The door closes behind him. Bryn is curled up on the couch, looking defeated. He says, "I finally got a chance to get in here. Guards are distracted. Your soldiers are attacking the jail. I don't think they'll get through." Bryn just says nothing. The guy continues. "I've got news for you about your family, about the court hearings." Bryn looks up. The Terran Trade Commission's found in favor of your family. They have stripped the Romanovs of their fortune, of their company. It's about time. We've been looking at a way to get rid of them for a while. They've been a little bit too pushy. But they also found that your family isn't in control of Harnell Industries anymore. You just spent too long in stasis. More than 9 months. You're declared legally dead. You already knew that. Bryn's still silent. You were in there for 6 years. But, you know, even though Romanov Robotics destroyed all your family's factories, someone still owns that name, and we can give it back. Bryn finally sits up and says, I'm listening. You've been buying all these things off the credit of an account that it's really just a illusion. It's not a valid account. We can give you back your company. We can have the murder charges dropped. And we can get you out of this jail. All you have to do is agree to keep a secret. Why would you trust me with this? And he reaches under the robe and pulls out a small necklace, a stone necklace Bryn found in the Florida caves. And then he reaches out under his neck and pulls out the same kind of necklace. We finally see the necklace, and it has the same symbol that Ray wrote down on that piece of paper. He says, a symbol can mean different things to different people. There were 22 Pinnacle office employees at that mining accident. Their families are sick. A lot of our families are sick. A lot of them are going to be sick. And Bryn's just, my whole family is going to be sick. They're on that ship filled with Bantraphyll. It just runs the technology. It's going to run the technology of the whole sector. The man nods. They're even installing Bantraphyll communication nodes on Earth. Think all those people walking around, nobody knows. If you did, you'd see them walking around with masks all the time. And who does that? And Bryn just shakes her head and she's like, oh, there's one person who does that. So here's the deal. There's still a lot of information in the databases here on Bantraphyll, information you found. It's only a matter of time before Silver looks up your access logs. All the information has to be deleted. But if I did it, it'd be pretty suspicious. If you did it, it still raised a lot of questions. But if someone who's dedicated their whole life to destroying Peak Zenith deleted those records, I don't think anyone would be surprised. Bryn looks up, says, you just let me walk away? And the man in the cloak nods. He says, all you have to do is protect your family. It's the same choice we all made. And he pulls out the Peak Zenith ring. And Bryn puts out her hand. And she takes that and the necklace. He says, you know what to do. I'll make sure the message gets out. Just remember who your friends are. We cut to after the guys left the room, and Bryn is hanging the necklace in this fake window where the security cameras can see it. Then she sits on the bed and waits. Now we have a reason to fight.
Lovely. And Sash.
What are you gonna do?
I have no idea what I'm
I'm
going
so curious.
Okay, I'm not going to sit in silence. I'm going to ask some questions of other people so that I can get an idea. The first question that's kind of sitting in my mind is, when does does Ray ever follow up on the code on the paper to go see Bryn?
You mean
if
the one
so,
on the necklace? Or what are you talking about?
because Silver gave you
The code that I gave you.
Yeah, that is, I mean, I was planning to, but I don't have another game.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ray absolutely would.
Okay. I was wondering if I could follow. Oh, I know, because then we could follow this into the next game. I am going to do a chase with Ray.
Okay.
To follow you into where Bryn is being kept.
Okay. And I'm assuming I don't know that it's you.
You don't. I'm in a comms blackout, so the only way to communicate with people apparently is to chase them down.
Okay.
And talk to them in person.
I also feel like you're chasing me down to fucking slap me.
It's a bit of that too. Yeah.
That's too good.
Yep. And also I wanted to do a chase where I was the hunter and not the quarry like last time.
Yeah.
I haven't done very many chases in my career as a Firebrands player.
Yeah.
So.
Cool. So we know who the quarry is. That's me. So I'm gonna conduct the chase. We know how the chase came about. Also, look at that art.
Mm-hmm.
That's some good art. Well, we get to see it now, and that is some good art.
Yes.
So we know how the chase is coming about. You're following me as I'm trying to extract Bryn, and I'm assuming then where I'm going is I'm trying to get to Bryn's cell without you stopping me.
Yeah.
I think I have other people with me, but maybe we're approaching at different angles, so hopefully one person can get in, so you're able to kind of chase me alone.
This is going to be a disaster because I also have people with me. We're just like all
That's
formation.
okay. Next
Yeah.
time, it'll be a thing.
Yeah.
What do we notice about each other? What have we heard?
Uh, have we hooked up since last time? Since within this media blackout, or
Um, well, I would say probably if we did, it would be before my meeting with Silver, because I don't think we've talked since you found out that, hey, I'm dying, by the way.
Mhm.
um, but I think before that, yeah, maybe we have.
yeah. Um, well, you've known for a bit that my brother's been missing.
Yeah, I have known that.
Still not around. I would probably be very affected by that.
Yeah, sure.
Mhm.
Anything else?
I want to know. No. So what I want to know is, what have I heard about you?
Okay, so aside from all that stuff that Silver told you,
Mhm.
which is really good. Thank you so much for doing that, by the way.
Mhm.
um, as far as what you've heard, I think you've heard that the rebels are starting to stockpile plastic explosives for some reason. Like you've probably, I don't know if maybe you've helped supply. I don't know, but that's definitely fallen into your radar somehow.
I want to say
Um,
I did help with that.
okay, sure. As far as what you notice, ah, I think you just notice Ray's fucking tired. Everyone's just
Mhm.
fucking tired right now.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, so like he's dressed like he's up to no good. He actually, I think you notice that he's wearing the same getup as the last time you chased him in your power armor. And you recognize that it's the same guy.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's good. Let's do that.
Yes.
And we're not in our mobile frames. We're
No,
on.
we're not. Yep.
Okay, cool. Um, all right. So I think this is before we've reached the Peak Zenith detention facility.
Yeah.
And I feel like actually I'm wearing very similar stuff, but I feel like I'm wearing a wetsuit also and like a mask or something so we can actually like be in the water at points because I think that's cool. So,
Yes.
um I think I realize at some point that I'm being followed, and I assume that it's some sort of Peak Zenith enforcer, and I'm like, I need to shake you.
Mhm.
So, um, I think I press. I like I feel like we're in the water and we've got like jets on our suits or whatever, and we're just like kind of blitzing along. And I look back and I see like maybe your jet trail or something, and I'm like, shit. And I press through a thorny briar. Follow me if you want, but throw. On tails, you're tangled and torn and must extract yourself, and I gain a coin.
I'm gonna follow you.
I would hope so.
Yeah. This would end awful quickly. Okay. My first time throwing a bunch of coins. How do I do this? What's the
Take
best way?
click the big coin,
Okay.
right click it, and then multi-sided random side.
Cool. Tails.
I gain a coin.
Good.
You're tangled and torn and must extract yourself, and I gain a coin.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Kelsa, can I have you handle the coins since I don't know where you're putting them on stream?
Yeah, I'm still setting it up because I need to move the art so that it's not in the way.
All good.
It's too far forward.
Here, I'll just put it here for now.
There's those boxes.
Yeah, I have a coin in one of the boxes. I'll be left box.
Okay.
I'm down as a player for you catching me, so I think I'm gonna do an admission.
Okay.
I still look back at you and you're nearer than I thought. Throw. On heads, you put on a burst of speed and so gain 2 coins.
I think I'm gonna do that. I think to get out of the to get out of the wildlife down here, my only choice is to in typical Sash fashion, get caught up in something and then just wreck my own jets just to get out of there. But yeah, I was way behind for a second and now I'm almost up to you, whoever I am.
We'll see.
Hmm.
No, you are not. Your jets fail or something. What happens?
Then it must be that the jets explode underwater and I'm just cloaked in bubbles
Okay.
and underwater foam and you cannot see what's in there except that somebody's following you and something went wrong.
Okay. All right. So now the third one has to be an admission. And I think we see Ray reach the building and he steps through the membrane into the airspace and he dashes to the door and punches in the code and it doesn't work because he's gone to the wrong entrance. I've led myself into a dead end and have to dash past you to win free because now you've come through the bubble behind me and I need to go back into the water space and circle around to the other side of the building. Throw. On heads, you head me off and so gain 2 coins.
No,
No.
still tails.
Jeez, are you sure you're picking random side?
I am picking random side.
You're not choosing tails every time.
No.
All right.
Bad.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna give you a chance. We're gonna end with an admission. Let's see how this goes and see if your luck holds out.
Thank you. I need help.
You do need help, but I'm probably still gonna win. Let's see. Oh, well, hey, you know what? I'm about to run into the water and I see your men out there. There are other enemies ahead of me and I must suddenly change my course. Throw. On heads, you can gain on me and so gain 2 coins.
Cool. We see a bunch of threatening looking doctors. That's really bad. That was another tails.
Was it really?
It was.
Okay. Well then that's it.
Yep.
So, I break away and escape. So you were not able to
all tails all the time.
So bad.
I've bubbled up so much, but I'm still able to break away and escape. You lose track of me in the water.
Mm-hmm.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
I really wanted to have a confrontation with you.
Me too.
That's okay. I'm sure we'll meet.
Because
yeah,
because of this, you're now noticing that there are paramilitary doctors around. What the hell is going on?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, that's my game.
Okay.
Oh, that was a good game. That was the last game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about stuff, including this really cool fan art that I'm about to bring on. But first,
oh, good.
Let's bring
Fan art.
Okay, here we go. So yeah, hey everybody, let's find out what do we want to know about for next time.
Well, first I want to say Kelsey and I have been participating in Art Fight, and we've both gotten so many good fan arts of our characters.
I know. That's why I want to show this one off here. This is from our bed home, and it's Silver relaxing on her squid mech. And it's so
Nice.
amazing, and I love it. And
It's
like
so
one of
good.
the squid hands is like shading her on her little deck
And
chair.
the other one has like a little tray. I love it.
It's so good. It's just so good. I love it so much.
And there's like a little parasol on the end or
I
something.
know,
Or I think
yes.
it's supposed to be a satellite, but it looks like a little parasol, and I love it.
Either doesn't matter. It's amazing. I love it.
Yeah, it's so good.
So thank you so much, ArtBedHome. You can go onto the Twitters at ArtBedHome to see arts.
Doing that right now.
Anyway, so yeah, what else do we want to see? I should leave that up there. You don't need to see our faces. You need to see pretty art.
Yes.
So
I want to know where my brother is.
yeah, we should maybe figure that out. I don't know.
I really want to see that confrontation between Sash and Ray. I need it. I need it so bad.
Oh, good.
That'd be pretty good.
Yeah. When you got mad and then sad, I'm like, this is what I wanted. I needed you to be hurt by this, and it's just so good. I can't wait.
Yes, beautiful. I want to know what it's going to take to convince Silver that she can't fix this from the inside.
I mean, I have an idea. I have some plans.
We'll
They
see.
involve plastic explosives.
I've heard something about those.
I mean, you haven't.
Well, Silver hasn't.
I want to see. I see Silver really bring home the justice. Like, what does justice mean in this situation?
That's a good question.
Actually, you asked that question, I had an immediate answer. So I'm just gonna put that in my back pocket so we can see it later.
Good.
Yeah. Oof. This was a great episode. It was just a great episode. So, thanks everybody. Let's do some shout outs. Astani does amazing art, such as the overlays for Love and Bantraphyll Skyphos Dive. Tell us more about where people can find you and your amazing art, Astani.
Okay, sure. Hi, I'm Astani. When I'm not being here, dying, apparently, I have my own Twitch channel over, well, I say own, we're on YouTube today, but I have a Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Astani, so you can check me out for variety streams, and I do art streams. I have a Patreon, patreon.com/Astani, where you can support me and get cool like wallpapers and videos and just help support my art, which is a cool thing. I'm on Art
cool
Fight.
stuff like
Yeah, I have a store, and you can buy like cool cell phone cases or t-shirts or art prints or mugs or that sort of thing. I'm also on Art Fight, so if you do art, you want to fight me, you can draw Ray, and then I will draw Ray maybe getting sexy with the character. I've been doing a lot of that, and that's been real fun.
that has been real fun. Look,
It's too fun.
I'm gonna go ahead and put up the one that I did of Sash and Ray since we got some Sash and Ray action.
It's
I mean,
good. It
Silver
was a
and
good
Ray.
one. You could
Yes.
put up mine too if you want.
I don't have yours on my computer. I'd have to go
You
and
need to save it.
there it is.
Well, you can. I think is it unlocked on Patreon yet? Hold on, let me look. If it is, I can just drop a link in chat.
Whoa, that is way too big.
Stream's got to catch up. Do it, Stream. You can do it.
Where is it?
There we
It's still locked on there anyway. It'll be locked for another couple days. But if you become a patron for just $1, you can look at it now.
Mhm. Yeah. I looked at it and it was great.
Or you can sign up to Art Fight technically. And
Yeah,
then
you can sign up
look
to
at all
Art
my
Fight. You can
just
see
follow me on Art Fight, and you can see all of my queer Ray ships, which I love.
You can't look as hard or as long unless you subscribe on Patreon.
That's
Or as quickly, which is technically true.
Yeah, yeah.
technically true.
You can just like scroll right past it if you want.
Well, I
Why
was
would
gonna say,
you?
it doesn't show up for a couple
Why
of
would
days.
you do that?
Look at that art. It's real good.
I've been doing a lot of traditional art. This is actually painted with inks and crayons. Because I was like thinking about what it was going to take to do that background in ink. And I was just like, I was so exhausted. And I was like, oh my God, that'd just be so too much. Gosh, why don't maybe I could use like some colored pencils? And I'm like, I don't have colored pencils, but I have crayons.
Yay!
Like, screw it.
It came out
Let's
really
go.
good.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'm really pleased. I'm very happy with it. So, anyway, good times, good times.
Yeah. Okay, that's it for my shout outs. Somebody else go. Lavender, why don't you go?
Who's next?
Yeah, Lavender, why don't you
Okay.
go?
All right. Hi, I'm Lavender, Dark Lavender Void. I'm no prop for my shout outs. I'm working on a dream journaling Eldritch horror game.
Mm-hmm.
For my game, my like suite or collection of games called Consumed, which all have like interlocking mechanics, and I've been thinking of different ways to get that game out that will maybe hopefully be much faster than writing and laying out PDFs of this nonsense and running into the thing where you have to design a thing and then you're like, this needs to be fixed. And then you never get to lay out because you're always doing that part. I may have found a way around that and at the same time make my Patreon feel much more worthwhile because it'll constantly update. We'll see more of that in the future. I'm not gonna jump on that right away. That's my shout outs for this week.
Awesome. And Golden.
You can find me just sitting around growing hair because it's not safe to dream. You might be role playing again on Sundays on my channel. We've been having scheduling problems. And otherwise, you find me just thinking about art stuff because I do art stuff and then I'm like, this is horrible. No one can ever see it. Go away. But maybe not. We'll see if I can overcome that one day.
Mhm.
Otherwise, I just look in chat and that's it. Go to work.
That was a great shout out. That was a great shout out. Anyway, thank you all for coming out. This is my channel. You can find me on Twitch and YouTube at Kelsey Delphi. We are streaming on YouTube today directly instead of on Twitch in solidarity with the Amazon strike. So just a little change of pace there, and you'll of course still find the VODs here on YouTube. You can follow me on Twitter at Kelsa, and I haven't been posting my art fight art there, but I have been also participating in art fight, and I have done an art a day so far, and I plan on keeping that up, and it's been really awesome actually. I have a bunch of mutuals, and we're all making art for each other, and it's been really great. It has been so fun.
So fun.
It has been too much fun. Anyway, thanks again for coming out, everybody. I'm gonna go ahead and kick us over to the goodbye screen, where we can hear the beautiful theme song by Drummer Boy. And so, goodbye, everybody.